Are you a beginner who wants to sell products on the internet but can't choose between Shopify versus Etsy? I'm glad you clicked on this video because I've studied hundreds of Etsy and Shopify stores making over $10,000 per month. These are stores selling t-shirts, prints, digital planners, ebooks, spreadsheets, and Notion templates. And the most successful ones are doing something so simple it will blow your mind. I'm going to show you the main differences between Shopify and Etsy, the simple yet obvious thing they're doing to make money, and which platform you should go with if you want a sustainable long-term business that lets you earn a living from your home. Whether you use Shopify or Etsy, you might fail if you don't follow these 3 simple steps. First, you want to find a product that people actually want to buy, something that's in demand, evergreen, and ideally solves a painful problem. Next, you can send traffic to that product. You can use paid or organic traffic on platforms like Etsy, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Google. Then you convert the traffic into buyers. The difference between what your customer pays and how much you paid to get that customer is your profit. So Shopify doesn't send you traffic, but Etsy does, which makes it really attractive for beginners. But if you don't fully understand how Etsy works, you might just experience every online seller's worst nightmare. Etsy is a massive marketplace with millions of daily visitors. When you list your product on Etsy, you get a chance to tap into that traffic. Etsy customers can find your products through their search bar, and you want to be at the top of those results. This is called Etsy SEO, or Etsy search engine optimization. Shopify is a platform where you host your online store. Shopify doesn't send you any traffic or sales, but unlike Etsy, they give you full control over your brand and customer experience. Most Shopify sellers drive traffic to their store from places like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Google. The most successful brands focus on pumping high-quality paid ads, or they post organic content on discovery platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Oh, and just a side note, I managed to find a great deal for Shopify, which I'll link in the description below. If you click on that link, you'll get a 3 free-day trial, and then it's only $1 for your first month. You can't get this latest deal directly from their website, and I'm not sure how long it's going to last, so there's a link in the description below. Now that you understand the main differences between the two, let me show you why some people would tell you to go with Etsy. Here's the thing. Etsy spends millions of dollars on marketing and advertising to bring tons of customers to their platform. You can take full advantage of all the traffic that they bring, and instead of building out a Shopify store, all you have to do is focus on optimizing your product listing page. You don't have to worry about designing a homepage, collection page, about page, or contact page. In the beginning, it can be easier to make your first sales. So one of the biggest pros to Etsy is you don't have to be that good at marketing. Etsy marketplace is highly competitive, and even if your listing is optimized for the right keywords, it doesn't mean people will magically find it. Etsy ranks products based on sales velocity and 5-star reviews. So even if you target low competition keywords, you might have to run Etsy PPC ads to make sales and collect reviews to climb the rankings. Another massive problem is competitors are going to undercut your prices, leading to a race to the bottom. You sell your product for $10, they copy you and drop theirs to $9, you drop yours to $8, and it just keeps going until both of you aren't making much money. And that's why Etsy isn't sustainable long term. So that's the biggest con. But you're going to want to pay attention to this next con because it directly impacts your bottom dollar. Etsy charges various fees that can eat into your profits. There is a one-time setup fee of $15 and a listing fee of 20 cents per item. Additionally, Etsy takes a 6.5% transaction fee on each sale. There is also a payment processing fee of 3% plus 25 cents per transaction. These fees can add up, making it essential to price your products carefully to maintain a profit. If you pay Etsy to promote your products through off-site ads and you get a sale, you'll be charged an additional fee of 10 to 12%. Having expensive seller fees is another con here. Etsy seller support is god-awful. If you encounter serious issues, resolving them can be challenging and time-consuming. Customer support involves dealing with representatives from different countries, which can lead to communication issues and delays. This lack of reliable support can be frustrating, especially when dealing with urgent problems, so that's another con. Now, selling on Etsy is like building your house on a sinking swamp. You don't get access to customer emails, so you can't do any email marketing. Etsy owns your customer data and has been known to suspend accounts for no reason. Imagine finally making some decent sales and then going back to zero. So the last con here is that you can do everything right, start making some money, and then Etsy can take it all away in the blink of an eye. Now, Shopify isn't perfect, but in my opinion, it has more pros than cons to Etsy, which I'm about to show you. So in terms of pricing, if you use the link below, you can get $1 for 1 month, and then it just becomes a $29 monthly fee. Besides the monthly fee, you'll need to invest money into ads, but you can start with as little as $5 per day. If you don't want to run ads, then posting organic content on TikTok is probably the best way to go. Now, Shopify offers a range of free and paid themes, making it easy to build a professional looking website without any coding knowledge. The platform is user friendly and with drag and drop functionality that simplifies everything for you. You can customize your store to match your brand and create a seamless shopping experience for your customers. So Shopify is easy to use and it makes building websites look like child's play. Etsy doesn't give you customer data like I mentioned before, but with Shopify, you own all the emails and all the customer information. This means you can make sales passively using email drip campaigns, which is basically like free money. And then you can use retargeting ads on social media. So having direct access to your customers makes it cheaper and easier to drive repeat sales. And it's what some would call a real business. So that's another advantage of Shopify. Now you're going to get much better support with Shopify than you would Etsy. If there's ever a problem with your Shopify site, they have 24/7 customer support via live chat and email. So support is another big pro. Now, unless you're doing dodgy stuff like selling counterfeit Disney merch, the odds of getting banned on Shopify are slim to none. Shopify spreads the risk across multiple advertising platforms. You can use Google, Facebook, TikTok, and other channels to drive traffic to your store. Having the ability to diversify and not get destroyed with seller fees is important, so Shopify is probably the less risky of the two options. But it's not all rainbows and sunshine. Shopify stores typically have a lower conversion rate, around 1 to 3%, but this is something that you have full control over. You can implement CRO or conversion rate optimization techniques like improving your website design, offering promotions, and simplifying the checkout process. So this gives you way more control over your conversion rate than you would have with Etsy. There are also a ton of apps that you can use like upsells, cross-sells, downsells to increase the average order value, maxing out your profit per customer. So dealing with lower conversion rates is a con, but you have the power to improve it. Now, while most people see this one thing as a con, it's really not, and let me explain why. Once you learn the skills it takes to sell your products online, you will never go broke. You'll never worry about where your future sales will come from, and you won't have to compete on price, which you would have to do with it. If you look at an Etsy listing, they recommend competitor products and they also run ads on your product listing. With Shopify, the customer is coming to your store where you control the entire experience. There are no competitors lowballing you on the same page. So a con here is that you have to become decent at online marketing. But again, learning how to market and sell online is one of the best skills you can have. It helps you build a real business and make sure you don't get wiped out by tech giants like Etsy. You know what most successful shops do? They sell on both platforms. The first step towards building a long-term brand is creating a Shopify store. This adds a layer of legitimacy to you as a seller. Next, you can set up a listing on Etsy to take advantage of their organic traffic. Then you can sell on social media directly with your Shopify store. And if you want to learn how to build a Shopify site like this print-on-demand store making $500,000 per month, click here. And if you want to learn how I made thousands selling digital products on Shopify from only 2 hours of work, click here.